Hello everyone, I'm Paul and welcome to Gelling Outdoors. Today I'm going to be trimming this cedar hedge that you see behind me here. What's happened over the years is that the deer come and they chewed all the bottom half of it, and the green on the bottom no longer grows in. I'm doing it this time of the year because it's just about springtime and the birds will soon be nesting up in the tree or in the hedge, and I don't want to disturb them when they start having the little ones. Okay, let's get it done, guys. Alright guys, you can see I got it started with the pole saw, and it's extremely difficult even with the pole saw to get it started up so that I can get in there with the chainsaw. I have to wear a helmet here and basically wear my mask because I'm getting whacked with these branches like crazy. It's not very easy. I have to pull every once in a while a bunch of the branches out. This is going to take hours to do. It's not going to be like a 5-minute job. I've got this side and then I've got to go around on the other side and get some of it done. Alright guys, I'm going to put the chainsaw now onto the job, and one thing to note when you're doing this kind of stuff, because the branches are so small, like little twiggy ones like this, make sure you don't have too much slack on your chain. Don't tighten it too tight obviously because you don't want to damage your bar, but you want to have it tight enough in this case because it's not hard for these little branches to get underneath the chain and throw it off. So let's get this going. Okay guys, you can definitely see how difficult that is to get in there, and you have to twist your saw. So a couple things. One, make sure you got the proper safety gear. Get that out of my face there. Make sure you got the proper safety gear, because this stuff is getting in my head or whacking against my head on my clothing and stuff like that. So I got good protective clothing on, so it's perfect for that. The other thing too is make sure you have a saw that's not too heavy for you to handle, because if it's too heavy, you're going to have a real struggle and you're going to have sore arms at the end of the day, and you're going to fatigue a lot sooner. And as you know, when you're using a chainsaw, you don't want to be fatigued, because if you're tired, you're going to get careless. When you get careless, you're going to get hurt. So make sure of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to cut all through this here. I'll get it all done. But I guess basically what I want to let you know is how difficult it is to do this kind of stuff. It's also nice to do it when it's a little cooler out, because if it was really sunny and hot, this would not be even less enjoyable, if you want to say. So like I said, I'll get it done, and then we'll finish up the video. All right guys, I got everything cut up. As you can see behind me, I've got a little bit of work to do to clean up. We're going to wait until it dries up out here. What I'll do is I'll just take you for a walk down the path here and show you a little closer. Okay, let's take a closer look. You can see all the branches. What I'll have to do is come back, and these little nubs here like this, I'm going to have to just take a machete there, and I'll just cut them off with a machete. The other thing I'll have to do is anything that's hanging a little bit lower than desirable, I'll end up cutting it as well. I'm going to wait until it gets a little bit warmer. The ground is a little bit soft right now, so hopefully it will drain a little bit. And when it drains, I'll bring the tractor and get it all cleaned up with the grapple. As you can see, it goes quite a ways down. Anyways, it's all the same, but it's much cleaner. Be able to walk through here. The wind will get through. The little bit of sunshine will come through a little bit better. I think overall it's going to be nicer. One thing to note, you may not have a gas-powered pole saw or gas-powered pruner. No problem with that. The reason why I wanted to use it at the beginning to get in tighter to the trees, again, it comes down to when you're cutting with the chainsaw on the small little thin stuff, when it's sticking out really far here, you really got to rev that saw up to make sure nothing gets underneath the bar. Also, it's very hard. When you're jabbing in there with the saw, you're really getting pounded by all the branches. They're sticking in everywhere at you. You have to have some good head protection. The earmuffs really help, not just for the noise, but for protecting your ears. They won't get a stick in the ear or on the side of the face. Also, wear somewhat of a jacket or something to protect your arms. These things, even though it's fairly soft wood and stuff like that, it will scratch you up or cut you pretty good, and you don't need any injuries that you don't need, or you don't need injuries that you can quite well prevent. So those things will really help you out. Like I mentioned, some protection. And when you're doing this kind of work, it is much harder than cutting, say for instance, a few logs, or cutting for firewood, that is, or if you're cutting down a tree. This is a lot more tiring. It takes a lot more effort. You're going to be maneuvering quite a bit more. You got to bend, twist, turn, so on and so forth. The one thing you got to watch out for is that try not to get your saw too much directly in line in front of your face. You want to always keep the saw to your side, so if it kicks back, it's going to go to either side and not come directly back at you. Also, when you're doing this, try and clear out some of the stuff. If you can get an assistant or someone to help you out, that'll be ideal, but make sure that they're aware that the branches are going to slap down or you're going to swing the saw, so make sure that they don't get too close. But if they can pull out the branches for you as you go along, the job will be much easier and go much quicker. Once again, once you get tired, it's time to quit. Even if you haven't finished the job, it's a lot safer to end up without any injuries. Safety is the first thing that you should be doing. Take your time. Don't try to cut too much at once. Use a saw that you can handle, as I mentioned earlier. You don't want something that's really heavy. You want something that's light and nimble so you can twist and turn. The saw that I used there was a CS490. It's a 50.2 cc saw. It's got a lot of power, a lot more power than you need to cut something like this. It was just the one that I grabbed today. I do prefer some other types of saws than that one for this kind of tree work, but you know, you got to sometimes use what you got, and that's the way it is. So as long as you keep yourself safe, pay attention to what you do, and don't forget to wear some protection on your legs and stuff. You either wear chainsaw pants or some chaps, and also you should be wearing some safety boots of some type. So anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. For those of you that are new to my channel, if you enjoyed it, please hit that subscribe button down below. Those of you that have subscribed already, appreciate that. And if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with a friend. Until next time, we'll see you on Gellin' Outdoors.